877-875-KTGR. The Big Show starts now.
You bet it does. Welcome into Tuesday's edition of The Big Show on your Total Sports Station, KTGR. It's Andy Humphrey and Brendan Schaefer here. So today, lots of things happening.
A lot. A
curators meeting tomorrow about something.
Ooh.
3:00 the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, they're calling like executive session. Like this is the big time, right? This is something.
Yeah,
double secret probation.
Right.
Like you would think they could have sent out in an email who's bringing what to the Thanksgiving potluck, but I guess they're like realizing maybe everybody wasn't on the email list, and so you got to get together in person to discuss. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, we've all been there, so I can't blame them. We don't know what it's about, but we maybe think we have a guess. Not based on anything, but it's interesting timing.
Tea leaves, baby.
Tea leaves. We'll talk about that when it pertains to the coaching carousel. An interesting domino in the coaching carousel falling within the last hour.
A huge one.
Yeah.
And maybe if you wanted to really go galaxy brain, you could say the two things are related. If you really wanted to, I'll explain what I mean by that.
I know you do.
This is me being optimistic, guys, to say that these two things are related. So I'll explain my theory.
Well, we'll talk about that coming up in just a bit. Tough injury news from Mizzou men's basketball today. They're in action tonight, but an encouraging sign, according to another report, seems that they'll get a player back today. So we'll talk all about that. We'll talk about our NFL good, bad, and ugly from the weekend of the NFL. We'll have the injury expert, Will Carroll, to talk injuries in the NFL. We'll have Brian Smith, the Mizzou wrestling, at 5:45. Oh, yeah, and the Cardinals made the first big trade of the Hein Blue Mara today, too.
Yep, no big deal. Sonny Gray's a Red Sox. Nothing to that, but to do it. All right, so yeah, we got a loaded show. It seems like lots of news to get into and react to.
So react to it with us. 573-875-5847 with a call or a text. We're also live on YouTube right now. YouTube.com/@KTGR Sports. Also live on Facebook. Facebook.com/KTGR Big Show.
Now, the Big Show's Big Deal.
We do not know what it is about, but the University of Missouri Board of Curators has called a meeting for 3 p.m. tomorrow, and they're going straight into executive session, so that's closed to the public, so we won't know about what's actually being said until maybe they come out with an announcement afterwards. Maybe that announcement is pertaining to one Eli Drinkwitz. Could be an extension. We don't know, but interesting timing, to say the least, as that meeting is scheduled for 3 p.m. tomorrow, the day after Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, Mizzou men's basketball in action tonight against South Carolina State, 7 p.m. tip-off. Mizzou announced today that guard Jaden Stone is going to be out 3 to 4 weeks with a hand injury. That'll likely kick him out of the rest of non-conference play, but they do get redshirt freshman center Trent Burns back from injury today, according to Drew King of PowerMizzou.com. That is the Big Show's Big Deal on this 25th day of November, 2025. You can call or text us here at 573-875-KTGR. So look, there have been Board of Curators meetings over the last month, 2 months, something like that. I don't know how many. I think they had one just last week or 2 weeks ago.
I believe they had one last week. Yeah.
So there's another one on the books all of a sudden that we learn about today, and it's tomorrow. And you don't call those types of meetings, I suppose, without a sense of urgency. And
you got something to do. You got some business to attend to
before Thanksgiving,
my guess.
Right? Take care of that before things go on down the line. And so with Mizzou playing a game Saturday, and then likely the next time you could potentially meet would be Monday. A lot can happen between now and Monday. So it seems that the Board of Curators meeting tomorrow, maybe, we don't know, but it is at least noteworthy, and maybe Mizzou fans should be paying attention to that.
Yeah, we don't know, but let's talk about this logically. What is it, if not an Eli Drinkwitz extension? Let's come up with some, let's get to the whiteboard And what else could it even be? You know what I mean? Like, it could be anything.
Well, it couldn't be anything
but
relating to Eli Drinkwitz other than, like, that's the only thing.
Yeah.
If Eli Drinkwitz is involved at all, then I think that's the only possibility.
It's to approve an extension that theoretically has been on the table for a minute. And maybe things are happening such that Eli Drinkwitz is ready to sign that extension.
Right.
Who knows?
If it's something completely unrelated to athletics, then, or like Rollins campus needs something or whatever it is. Like,
yeah,
but
sure.
Yeah.
So logically speaking, it's probably not those other things.
Yeah. Again, we're speculating. We don't know, but it is something to at least pay attention to.
And I'm going to speculate that it's Eli Drinkwitz related. And now walk with me down this road. Okay. If the speculation is correct.
Yeah.
To the point, if it's an Eli Drinkwitz thing, it's not that they're firing him. It's not that he's taking another job. Like, they're not holding a meeting to do. I mean, I guess to fire him, you would probably have to hold a meeting. They're not going to do that. There wouldn't be a meeting if he decided he's taking another job somewhere else. The meeting would happen if it's a drink meeting because of the extension possibilities, and that would be like the recommitment that we've been waiting for. Theoretically, you could announce that thing. You could announce it tomorrow night if that's what it is. And so we'd be feeling pretty great about that. If that's the world in which we're living, I would pose that the Eric Morris thing could even be a little bit related if you really wanted it to be. If you were living in your headcanon that I'm building for myself, again, not based on anything that we know concrete, but just imagining that, there have been the gears have been turning of the coaching carousel behind the scenes for weeks now, not just specifically in Columbia, Missouri, like across the country. That's been true. Eric Morris has been a name that I have talked about on this show and said, if Drink leaves for greener pastures, I want the guy coming from the mean green pastures. North Texas's coach has done an awesome job, and he's put his name into these conversations. So much so that now it's reported, Pete Thamel and others have reported this afternoon, that Eric Morris will be the next head coach at Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
My reaction to that is, oh, thank goodness it's not Arkansas, first of all, because I think he's a great hire, and I don't want Arkansas.
Why would Arkansas not want him? Like, what are we doing here? I
don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe he chose Oklahoma State instead. That would say a lot about the state of.
I called that a better job than Arkansas. I think when we did our rankings.
That would be noteworthy, Andy, about the state of the Razorbacks football program if that's what happened. But we don't know for sure. Maybe in the retelling of it all, we can find out exactly how did it come to pass. I wonder, though, how involved Missouri has been on checking in with other candidates, hoping that Drink stays, making a great pitch to keep him, probably even offering him a contract throughout all of this. But at the end of the day, they weren't in control of everything. He could have been offered a different job. And so were they checking in on somebody like Eric Morris? And then the Board of Curators meeting is called behind the scenes in the coaching circles. Everybody knows Drink's going back to Missouri. And Eric Morris is like, well, that better job's not opening up. I might as well sign with Oklahoma State. If you wanted to paint that picture in the absence of actual concrete information, you could do that if you wanted to. That's what I'm choosing to do until I'm shown information, which could happen in the next 5 minutes. I could be shown credible information that's not connected. But I don't know. I wanted Eric Morris, so maybe the Mizzou admin was smart enough to say, hey, maybe this is a guy we keep tabs on too. But they know that they're getting their guy back, and so we don't need to make a coaching hire. And so Eric Morris goes to, obviously, the lesser Stillwater, Oklahoma, relative to Columbia, Missouri. And so everybody's good here. Drink's coming back. Is that?
I mean, it's not a crazy scenario. Like it's
a little crazy that I connected the dots, but maybe it's real. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know.
Maybe we have no idea, but I don't think that's completely out of the realm of possibility that that's the process that Eric Morris maybe had to take. And his agent and his representation and everything like that. I think it's cool that he gets to keep coaching at North Texas through the season. They've got a chance at a playoff spot if they do well enough and they get the help they need.
Yeah, they're doing it right in understanding that it's not that North Texas is a bad job, but, it's not a Power Four, and the resources and the financial commitment, it's just going to be much more significant. And so, unfortunately, Andy, and we've talked about this with regard to basketball when it comes to like March Madness, those mid-majors making a charge. It's so much more difficult to sustain it as a mid-major because your coach is getting poached right away at a place that can now pay the players double, triple, quadruple what you can. And I think the same thing is happening in football when you look at these G5 coaches that are highly sought after. those programs have no chance to keep their guy. And that's what it is with the Eric Morris deal. That's just like a commentary on the state of the sport. But what matters here locally is it feels like, again, this curators meeting, it's about something. And if we wanted to dot connect, we could hope that it's about Drinkwitz being ready to sign an extension and the board of curators needing to approve it.
And again, we learned about both pieces of news pretty close together. And so it's,
I knew about the curators one first, and I think it was out. And then the Morris stuff really started to come together.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's possible that that's how it went down. We will obviously keep tabs on that tomorrow. The 3 p.m. University of Missouri Board of Curators executive session. They're going to go straight into the closed portion of their meeting, and that seems to be the only thing on the agenda.
My hope is somebody does some digging today, and we can just find out, like, yeah, that's probably what this is. So that would be my hope.
We'll see. 875-KTGR if you want to weigh in on how that might go down. In the meantime, Mizzou still is playing a game this weekend against Arkansas. One that the Tigers should probably win based on their talent level versus Arkansas's talent level. Arkansas fired their coach this year.
Point spread doesn't suggest it's a done deal, though.
No, it's not.
You seen that thing?
It's very interesting going down the line here, but it's mainly due to Mizzou's offense not looking the way that everyone wanted it to. And Eli Drinkwitz was asked about today whether that's due to how defenses might have played Mizzou here recently.
I think there's a style of defense that has been played against us the last 4 games that's carried over. And if somebody's going to play extra hat in the box and play man-to-man and you can't figure out how to stop, get people open or create explosive plays, then that lacks, what we need to do in order to be successful. So ultimately that's what I judge it on. We were able to create enough movement at the line of scrimmage versus Mississippi State to allow our running backs to get free. The first 2 drives of the game, we were creating, enough movement for our running backs to get movement, but, for whatever reason, they were able to fix that. And we really didn't have a counterpunch. And ultimately, as, coaches, we got to have a counterpunch. And that's what we're working to make sure we have. And didn't get it done.
How do you read into that?
Talking about the counterpunch aspect of the offense.
Yeah, getting guys open, stuff like that.
Last week it was, excuse me, it wasn't last week. It was after Saturday's game. He talked a lot about the lack of creativity. And so you're kind of expanding upon those thoughts a little bit here. Like he does not sound satisfied with the execution of Kirby Moore's offense in recent weeks. Maybe is a diplomatic way to say it.
Or
whether it's Kirby Moore's doing or the players doing, there's a disconnect.
I mean, I think this is more so still Eli Drinkwitz's offense than Kirby Moore's. Maybe he's upset with Kirby Moore's execution of his offense. What I'm saying. Yeah.
The Kirby Moore's execution, let's just take Kirby out of it. It's the execution of the offense.
Yeah.
Is the problem what they're attempting to do, though? Because, again, if you say that they lack creativity after Saturday's game, that's the play caller that is playing a role in that in some form or another. So, and look, Drink's not going to, yes, it's his offense at the end of the day, but he relinquished the play calling duties. Like, that was the whole point in bringing in an offensive coordinator. And now we're into this situation where, I would say it's the 2nd year in a row that the offense has underperformed. And so, and it's been pointed, like the criticisms of or his willingness to at least talk through what has been going wrong. He's not been vague and just kind of airing it out there. I think he's getting into the nitty gritty on some of the things that he would like to see addressed. And then Andy, if it's just that they don't have, how do we talk about it in basketball, the Jimmies and the Joes, if they just don't have the quarterback to execute, then we're going to find out that they feel that way based on the way this offseason and this transfer portal goes, right? They'll make some changes. They'll adjust the QB room if they feel that's the takeaway from this season of underperforming offense down the stretch. But at a certain point, you had a solid enough option in Brady Cook last year. Whatever people think of Brady Cook, like Brady Cook, I think got the most out of what his talent level brings, and got this team to some pretty good heights in the last couple of years that he was here. Like in a bigger picture way, I do think that the things Drink's saying week after week about the offense, you kind of wonder, I guess I am still thinking more big picture now that it really does feel like he's going to stay with this board of curators stuff. Like, what do you do? What are the changes you need to make? Obviously, what do you do on Saturday is hopefully run the damn ball, because that's something you should be able to do against Arkansas. You should be able to throw against Arkansas too. They've got a porous defense on the whole. But I'm still thinking long-term about, man, how do you fix this? Because if they had a middling offense over the past back half of the schedule, I feel like Mizzou would be sitting at like 9 wins right now trying to get to a 10th.
Yeah.
If they just had a middling offense, you would have been in that game to win at Oklahoma. You would have been in that game to win at Vanderbilt. And here we'd be talking about a completely different set of circumstances right now. So, I mean, that's my reaction to it.
It'd be tough to react to or how to predict what Mizzou's offense would have been if Bo Prabula didn't get hurt in that Vanderbilt game.
But it wasn't going great.
It wasn't. The guy comes in and has the adrenaline pumping and everything like that, and Zowers eventually is able to have the ball in his hands with a chance to drive down the field and get the game tying score.
We're an inch from tying the football game.
Right. I understand all that. I kind of harken back to the Alabama game of like, man, there were some spots there where you could have all that. And I know there were some defensive areas where that also might have popped up, but to me, it's the few moments where Mizzou had a chance to execute an offensive play that extends a drive or punches in a touchdown instead of having to kick. Several instances this year where it just came up short of what they were wanting.
Yeah, but like you can look at coming off of the Oklahoma game, and that's what's fresh on the mind for Drink when he's talking today.
Right.
They weren't close for the majority of this game offensively. Like you had a good opening drive. You had a good second drive that when the field goal block occurred, there were some good things early, but there was a stretch in the middle of this game where it was pretty bleak, and the forward pass was not an option for them until they kind of got into the hurry up late, and then they were able to drive the field that one drive where they ended up dropping the touchdown.
Right.
Like just the consistency of the offense, I think has to have Drink pulling his hair out right now. And I'm not suggesting that he knows exactly where the blame falls. He's always publicly going to say it's with him. But like when you're thinking about what does Mizzou do differently to try to ascend, like feels like they're squandering a really good defense right now over the past few weeks, and that's a shame.
Yeah, that's the hardest part about this, is that the defense is, for the last few weeks in particular, played, I think, about as well as you could hope, and Mizzou hasn't been able to garner enough wins to stay in that hunt with that defense. 875-KTGR if you want to call or text us. Let's go to Matey here on the KTGR hotline. Matey, what you got?
I do have the two questions, especially your friend sitting next to you.
Yes.
Did you guys say that Board of Curators supposed to extend this football coach?
We don't know what the Board of Curators meeting is about tomorrow, but it was just popped up and it's scheduled for 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Did they extend him until 2031, a year ago, 2 years ago? Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
And they give him $9 million. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What the heck they talking about that, Andy and Brandon? And also, Brandon, I told you talking about that Missouri should beat the Oklahoma, Alabama. Are you serious, man? Are you serious? If the Missouri win by 3 points, you always say win-win. But when they lose, you have all of the excuse. Weather was cold outside, ball was blue, referee was there. Come on, man. Stop excuse. Missouri lucky we are right now 7-4. Should be 5-7. You guys watched that Kansas game. I was there.
Hey.
Come on, guys.
I was there too.
Be honest.
It was.
And you give $9 million. And also remember that there is plenty goldfish. If you want to go Penn State, are you serious? Penn State doesn't pick up this coach.
Hey.
There is plenty goldfish on this, gentlemen. Have a nice Thanksgiving. God bless you.
You too. Happy Thanksgiving, matey, here on the Big Show, KTGR.
We got to recap.
Right.
I think so. Matey sounds upset about the notion that Drinkwitz would require a contract extension beyond the $9 million annual salary, beyond having a contract way into the future.
Yeah.
But if I'm Drinkwitz's agent, right? If I'm Jimmy Sexton and all of the rumors are out there about maybe other jobs are interested in, that's just using your leverage and improving your circumstances, right? Is Drink worth that? Well, he's worth what anybody's going to pay for him, whether that's Missouri or somebody else. So whether we think the dollars and cents of it add up, Andy, wouldn't you agree that it's just the market is going to dictate? There's a scarcity of coaches on Eli Drinkwitz's level, and there's a lot of those type of jobs that can hire good coaches opening up right now. And so if you're a program that wants to keep your coach that you really like, sometimes that's just the cost of doing business. And I'm not saying it's not out of control. It totally is. College football is out of control.
Yeah.
With coaching salaries and buyouts and everything like that. That's just, if you want to play the game, that is the price to enter into the arena. That's just the way it works now. And credit to Mizzou, in my opinion, for, ponying up if that's what this ends up being, because I like being in the arena. I want to stay there. I want my program to stay there. Missouri was a 3-point underdog against Alabama. They lost by 3. Like, that wasn't some, pie in the sky idea, matey, that Missouri could beat Alabama. Oklahoma, you're a 5.5-point underdog the morning of the game. You're a Coleman drop touchdown, him in both hands away from a 17-13 score. And that includes all of the mistakes that I didn't like. It's not excuses. I wasn't excusing the decisions from Drink. I didn't like them. I thought they were costly in the endeavor to try to win the football game. But, as Andy explained really well yesterday, that doesn't mean that we want a different coach to be here because he made a couple of bad decisions we didn't agree with on Saturday. Like, this is a bigger picture conversation. And I do think Missouri is close enough to where we can get a little bit fired up for losing to Alabama, for losing at Vandy by a touchdown, for losing at Oklahoma on Saturday. Like, that's where Drink has brought the program to where we can be upset about these outcomes while hoping that and understanding that, there's still going to be brighter days ahead as long as they keep the program together, which, seems right now like they might.
And look, did they almost lose to Kansas? Did they almost lose to South Carolina? Sure,
technically.
Yeah, they almost lost those games too.
Like 8 or 9 or more points.
Yeah, and then 9-point win against South Carolina, 11-point win it ended up being against Kansas. Like, the little deceiving there because it really could have gone either way, but Mizzou got a late score to extend it to a 2-possession game. But
that's college football.
Yeah, like especially when you're talking about the level that Mizzou is playing at. And like that was a big rivalry game, of course, against Kansas to start out. Now Kansas really bottomed out, I think, this year. And
what's their record right now, by the way? Because I think this could illustrate a valuable point as well.
Are they bowl eligible? Are they going to get there? I thought they dipped down to a 7th loss.
Eric Morris's Oklahoma State to get their 5th win.
Yeah.
But then they've lost their 2. So they need the Utah game, their last game. Rivalry weekend has come a long way for the Jayhawks. They're playing Utah on rivalry weekend.
Man,
that's called. You were the last 2 to the dance, and you just needed.
You just got to play. Sorry,
they're going to play.
Exactly.
So I don't know if they came up with a trophy like they did for Mizzou and Arkansas in some similar circumstances, but I digress. If Kansas beats Utah, which I'm sure they'll be big underdogs even at home. Let's say they lose that game, they'll be 5-7. All right, the Missouri game that we're talking about having been so close, if Kansas, God forbid, should have pulled that out, all right, that'd be their bowl eligibility. I watched their entire game against Cincinnati because I had money on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, there's no way Kansas should have lost this game. I mean, they had it in control the entire way, and they just had a brutal drive to allow the Bearcats to score at the end. That'd be 7 wins. They only lost to Arizona by 4. It was similar circumstances. They were up big late. I'm not saying Kansas is this team that should have gone 8-4, but it just goes to illustrate college football and how slim the margins can be, that a season that Kansas fans are going to feel was just dreadful and their team stinks because they went 5-7. You could flip 3 plays the whole season, and now we're talking about 8-4. So yes, it's still valuable to beat Kansas, even if they have a year that wasn't considered as good as it could have been, in a year where Missouri had aspirations beyond what that Kansas game would have brought. It was meaningful to win that game. It was meaningful to beat South Carolina. It's meaningful to win. Drinkwitz would say it's hard to win in college football. It is.
Because we were doing this in 2022. We were doing this exact same thing when Mizzou was 6-6, and we're thinking,
yeah,
look, they are 4 plays away from 9-3, right?
Yeah.
So it when you get those games underneath your belt, it matters. And Mizzou was able to do that.
You can be excited about it.
Yeah,
too.
it's not
whether it's a 1-point win or a 21-point win.
Exactly,
it's a win.
It's a win. So I understand. Yeah, they had to struggle to win those games, but Sometimes you got to do that in college football. Like A&M had to struggle to beat that exact same South Carolina team at home. And boy, did they struggle to do it. But it still counts. They're still number 3 in the nation and didn't get dropped in the rankings because of that. They still won that game in pretty dramatic fashion. So
I think there's no truism than a win is a win in college football. Like that is the end all be all. And any way you can get it done is going to count the same.
Call or text us at 875-KTGR. How do you read into that curators meeting that is scheduled for 3 p.m. tomorrow?
We back, baby. We back.
I think we know Brendan's thought about it. Give us yours at 875-5847. The injury expert Will Carroll joins us next to talk about the NFL injuries that could impact this week, a short week for several teams, including the Chiefs, and his thoughts on the Cardinals trade of Sonny Gray to the Red Sox today. That's next.
Miss the latest edition of The Big Show? Catch up on demand with a full show podcast on the KTGR app. Download it now, wherever you get your apps.
Hey, it's Andy and Brendan here with Underdog Fantasy, and it is back. Feast week on Underdog, starting tomorrow and running through the end of this week. You can check the Underdog app each and every day for different special promos that they'll give you to help juice up your entry as you try to go with the best picks possible, higher or lower on your favorite player's stats. And with the NBA coming up tonight, some big games. Brendan, what do you like?
Well, I'm looking forward to the battle for LA with the Clippers and the Lakers going at it. And Luka Doncic has a point stat at 32.5 here on Underdog that he has achieved in 3 straight games. So I like higher than 32.5 points for Luka Doncic, and maybe to go on the other side and see what Kawhi Leonard can't get done as he returns from injury. Had 20 points in his last game. I like higher than 20.5 points as Kawhi gets back in the mix even a little bit more tonight.
So what's great about this week is that you could take an entry route like that, and then during Feast Week with all of the special promos that Underdog will give, they'll give like gimme picks that are just surefire to happen. You can go higher on half a point or something like that, and that can help out your entry even more and help it pay out more if you get all of those picks right. So now's a great time to hop in with all the NBA action here on Underdog Fantasy. Download the app today and use promo code KTGR to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code KTGR. Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Leland, I think Mom's been hitting the candy canes again. Yep, she said if you come into Bet's Jewelers and say you heard this out on the radio, you get $100 off. $100, no minimum. No catch, any jewelry in stock. So earrings under $100? Free. Should I tell Dad or should you? Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas from Bet's Jewelers. Beautiful moments begin at Bet's. Begin at Bet's.
It's that time of year again. Hit a deer, win a cow with FPP Body Shop. Listen, I'm not saying actively crash your vehicle into a deer, but if you do hit a deer, FPP will ease that stress with a $20 gift card to Fulton Horse House. And you'll be entered in to win the grand prize, a $500 gift card.
Man, I tell you what, winner last year had a cookout at every meet known to man. He all right?
Yeah, Billy. The winner will be popular again this year, too. With FPP, it's easy as 1, 2, 3. Hit a deer, win a cow. FPPBodyShop.com.
Hi, I'm Tristan Colon, Mizzou grad and 6-year NFL veteran.
I'm Charlie Sticklin.
And I'm Sarah Sticklin-McDonald of the Sticklin & Sticklin Injury Law Firm.
In football, home field advantage can make all the difference.
The same is true when choosing your injury lawyer.
We're locals. We know the courts, we know the towns, we know the people.
Just as I protect my team on the field.
Our family will protect your family.
When sorry just doesn't cut it.
Push back with Sticklin & Sticklin.
Columbia's best Black Friday gun sale is at Minutemen Defense. November 18th through the 29th, everything except ammo is on sale. Big giveaways November 28th and 29th, including merch, ammo bundles, and Cerakote packages. Don't miss Friday and Saturday specials, plus tiered savings on S-Tac gear. Shop their website now through Black Friday and use the code RADIO at checkout for a special Black Friday discount on your purchase. Visit MinutemenDefenseLLC.com. Minutemen Defense off I-70 in Rangeline.
Some of y'all may not know, but I'm from the state of Louisiana, which happens to be the birthplace of the turducken. We don't have duck at billiards. So to honor my heritage, we came up with the Turberkin. Turkey, famous billiards burger, and chicken. And then I made one. Let's just say, not all my ideas are good, y'all. This holiday season, we're going to stick with our billiards burgers and fresh cut fries.
Boogie on down for burgers and beer. Billiards, home run.
Try saying Turberkin 5 times fast.
Back to more of the biggest sports stories in mid-Missouri. You've got The Big Show on the KTGR app.
We're back here on The Big Show, KTGR and the KTGR app with Andy and Brendan as we roll into this Thanksgiving week. Of course, several short week games, including one for the Chiefs as they go and visit the Cowboys, and they'll look to some of their injury situations and see who they can get healthy enough to play on Thursday. And here to talk all things football injuries, the injury expert, Will Carroll. You can find him on Twitter at Injury Expert and at his newsletter, undertheknife.substack.com. Great baseball info that you can check out there all year round. And Will, with the Chiefs on the short week, going to Dallas, first of all, the extra challenge of going on the road for that short week, but also you look at the situation with Isaiah Pacheco, who was held out again this past weekend. Maybe it was a chance for him to still be at practice because he was still practicing all of last week. Maybe is there a chance that they decided, hey, let's make it a bit of a longer week for him and bring him back that Thursday? Or how do you kind of see the situation, Will?
Yeah, this is an interesting one because for Pacheco, I'm not sure whether they said, the short week would really matter, whether he wouldn't recover. I don't think that's the case. I just think they thought, he's just not ready. He's not our best option right now. And hey, Kareem Hunt played pretty darn well. So I think this is more about, is he ready? Is he the best one? And it does change that calculation a little bit. Let's say Pacheco is 80% of what he normally is, 90%, just because he's getting back up to speed, having been off with this knee issue. Hunt is obviously on a short week, so he's 80, 90% of what he normally is, even though there's no other than normal tiredness and soreness. So does it change the calculation a little bit? But I just don't think he was ready last week. I just, they have to make those decisions based on the medical information, but also on football skills and what game plan they have and who the opponent is. So I think Pacheco is coming back this week, but it's a good question. I just don't think it really, really factored in there.
And we'll see what Pacheco looks like in that Thanksgiving game on Thursday. Someone we probably won't get to see, though, Will, is Trey Smith for that offensive line trying to block for the Chiefs running backs and for Patrick Mahomes. What's the latest on Smith and how impactful could his injury be if he's not able to go for a while?
That's the question. Is he going to go this week? The answer is flat out no. It's how long is he out? Because this is two different injuries. There is a low ankle sprain and a high ankle sprain, and hopefully people have listened to me here enough to explain both of them. We all understand a low ankle sprain. A high ankle sprain is the joint in between the two bones of the lower leg. We call it that because nobody likes saying syndesmosis, but this one's fairly serious, and to keep them out functionally for the rest of the regular season. They don't think it's going to be that long, but this is not going to be certainly a short week injury, and even the long week following isn't likely to get him back. So I think he's going to miss at least 2, maybe 3 games, and it could go all the way to the end of the season.
Yeah, not great news for the Chiefs there. We'll see how it develops after this week's game. The injury expert, Will Carroll, here on the Big Show, KTGR. Also on a short week, the Bengals, who they brought Joe Burrow back to full practice all last week, but they still decided to not play him in that game on Sunday. But a chance, it would seem, here to have him back out as they play on the short week. How do you see the situation with Joe Burrow and him being out in the situation, also with the Bengals maybe being out of it entirely in the standings?
Yeah, that's the more interesting one, where things are happening. Are they completely out of it? Probably. But what do you want to do with Joe Burrow? Is he at risk of being worse by playing? No. Were they 100% sure he was ready to go? No. I mean, that toe injury was serious. He's coming back from a pretty complicated surgery to reattach the tendon and lock that plantar plate in. Basically, they rebuilt his toe. I mean, not the physical structure of it, but how it connects and how it moves. So if they thought there was the slightest deficit, hey, Joe Flacco's been playing pretty well. He's Joe Flacco. So I do think Burrow's coming back, but I think they're going to be very careful with him.
What about the status for T. Higgins? Already been ruled out this week with that concussion. And is this a standard concussion and it just would not be possible on a short week to be able to go? Or what do you know about this situation
there's
for
a couple of there's a couple of these this week. And people are saying, why are they ruling him out? We never know with concussions. People come back all the time in the space of a week. The NFL has been a little stricter this year, at least in some cases. There's a memo out there. We all know how much memos mean sometimes in the NFL. But with this one, they're saying, there are 4 steps to the clearing the concussion protocol, and you have to go through them on different days. Previously, we'd seen some teams that were perfectly willing to do 2 steps a day, saying that was fine. But with the short week, you just can't make it through. If you injure yourself on Sunday, you don't have 4 days to get to Thursday. Fridays, with Friday games this week, with Saturday games coming up, there's questions about it. Nobody's quite sure exactly how the NFL is going to enforce it. They know how it reads. So for this, we've seen a couple players ruled out. We don't know anything. With concussions, you just don't know. There are players that come back with no symptoms at all. There are players that don't look like they got hit that hard. They're out for weeks. We've seen a number of players this year with multiple concussions that have really shown no issues. But you wonder, what's that going to mean 20 years from now?
Will, I'll take you to the NFC for another quarterback question. Baker Mayfield was clearly laboring with that left shoulder in the Sunday night game, and then he airs it out with all of his might and seemingly made that left shoulder a little bit worse even. Didn't return. We saw Teddy Bridgewater in the second half. What do you know about Baker? And obviously the Bucs still trying to win that NFC South.
Yeah, this is an interesting one because this is the defining injury of this quarterback era. It's oddly similar in ways to Aaron Rodgers. And if you remember Aaron Rodgers breaking his collarbone a couple of years ago, same sort of thing. It's coming down on your shoulder, whether it's the throwing shoulder or the other shoulder, because people don't tackle like they used to. When you see a guy coming off the edge, so many times now, they don't hit him really hard. They certainly try not to land on them. And you end up with this whipping motion where they kind of circle him around and spin him down. And if they happen to fall at the right time, or actually the wrong time, you'll see them really accelerate into the ground. The natural instinct is to stick the arm out. Well, if there's too much force, something's going to happen. If it travels all the way up into the shoulder, it could do what happened to Mayfield there, where it sprains the AC joint, what we used to call a shoulder separation. It could break the collarbone. We've seen that a number of times. Rodgers, Romo. With Aaron Rodgers, he broke his wrist when he braced. It was just a bone gave rather than anything else. That force has to go somewhere. So for Mayfield, this is going to come down to how much was it sprained? How much did that shoulder joint actually move and damage that ligament? It looks like it's at least functional. So the question is going to come down to, if it's functional, how comfortable is he? Because he's going to get hit again.
Injury expert Will Carroll here on the Big Show KTGR. You mentioned Aaron Rodgers there, Will, with the wrist. It kept him out last weekend, but Mike Tomlin says he's optimistic that he can return against the Bills. Are you optimistic about that, Will?
Yeah, because this one comes down to, it's basically a little bit of risk and a little bit of pain management. On risk management, he's going to get hit, he's going to fall on it, and the risk is it's going to hurt more than he can take. So can you shoot up that? Yeah, you can. It's not going to make that much difference. It's not like you're numbing something that's super gripping the ball. It might affect, handoffs, but you can adjust that. Is he willing to take that risk? Yeah, the worst that can happen is they take that bone out whenever, and life goes on. It's not necessary. I mean, I like to think the human body needs all the parts, but aside from the appendix, there's some things we can take out. So for Rodgers, it's really about pain management. So I do think he's going to play this week.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. And then one more football one for you, Will. Will Campbell, Patriots rookie left tackle, who was a high pick and has been living up to that, certainly in his rookie season, carted off in Sunday's game against the Bengals with a right knee injury. It seemed that they were optimistic that he could come back this year, but how serious is this? And what does that do to that offensive line for the Patriots this year?
No, it's certainly bad for the Patriots. This is functionally the same injury as Isaiah Pacheco has, an MCL sprain. There are 4 main ligaments in the knee, and you can think of them as front back at each side. The MCL is on the inside and keeps the knee from, if you stand with the feet shoulder width apart and try to touch your knees together, you'll realize pretty quickly something is holding them back, and that's the MCL. If it is pushed too far because some big 300-pound guy rolls up on the outside of your leg or hits you low, then that MCL is going to give. That's the sprain. So with Campbell, it's a question of, is he functional? With the MCL, sometimes you don't repair that. A lot of times, especially with like an ACL, MCL sprain, they won't repair the MCL. So could he play? Yes. Is he functional? That's going to be the question. First, how severe is it? And actually more severe is easier because it's not going to heal. You know that. So you just go straight to, can we support it? Is he going to be functional? So we're going to wait and see on that. But he's going to be out for at least a couple weeks. But even with an MCL, as we've seen with Pacheco, there's a chance that you're going to be able to come back and be a good player again.
We'll get a baseball thought from you as the Cardinals make a big trade today. Chaim Bloom sending Sonny Gray to his old stomping grounds in Boston. The Cardinals get a couple of players back, guys that have had some various health issues with Richard Fitz and prospect Brandon Clark. But your thoughts on the general nature of that match with the Cardinals and Red Sox getting a deal done here before Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. When we look around the league, there's a lot of things that are basically about freeing up either cash or roster spots at this stage. And I think this is a little of both. Sonny Gray came in. He was part of that bridge that John Mozeliak kind of built when the pitchers they thought they would have didn't develop in time. So they had to go with older guys like Kyle Gibson, Lance Lynn, and Sonny Gray. And Sonny Gray was clearly the best of them, the most functional, but he's also pretty darn expensive and may not fit with what they're going to do right now. So getting Fitz, who's an interesting player, being able to make a trade with somebody he's clearly comfortable with, I think Bloom is doing some things to set up moves more than this was a move. We know this is going to be a reconstruction year. So you take out a piece like Gray, you're going to have to replace it. Is he going to be competitive for some free agents? Are there more trades to come? I think the latter is much more likely as he starts to put together the team he wants.
Will, what's new and under the knife?
Not much this week, man. I'm taking a week where there's not a ton of baseball. Everybody should have a good Thanksgiving, and we'll hit the ground running with the winter meetings coming up here in just a week.
Yeah, that'll be when it really ramps up. So we'll look forward to that and go and check it out. Even during this Thanksgiving week here, the Under the Knife newsletter from Will Carroll, undertheknife.substack.com. Great to have him here on the Big Show, KTGR. Will, thanks for coming on this week. Happy Thanksgiving to you. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks a lot, boys.
Big Show is on at 4:45, KTGR and the KTGR app. And we'll, of course, have our thoughts about the Sonny Gray deal coming up later in the show.
I would say on most shows that would be like the first thing we're talking about, but I don't even know if it's in the top 3 today. So
yeah, it's a wild day. We'll get to more of it here in Under the Bus. Another post-game dust-up in the NFL. We've seen a couple of these this year, and you have got to hear this ref evisceration by one college basketball radio announcer. That's next.
Now, your local Sports Center update on your total sports station, KTGR.
Good afternoon. I'm Andy Humphrey. This Sports Center update is with Lee's Tire Company. If it's round and rubber, Lee's sells it. Lee'sTireCompany.com. The University of Missouri Board of Curators has scheduled a meeting for 3 p.m. tomorrow, and it is only one item on the agenda, an executive session, so it will be closed to the public. There is a thought No confirmation yet, but there is a thought that it could be pertaining to the future of Mizzou head football coach Eli Drinkwitz, potentially a contract extension. Again, nothing definitive, and it will be closed to the public as it is happening. We'll see if there's any aftermath of that tomorrow afternoon as Eli Drinkwitz prepares to take on Arkansas this Saturday at 2:30. You can hear it on KTGR. Yuengling Tiger Game Day show will begin at 11:15 that morning. Mizzou men's basketball plays against South Carolina State tonight. They announced that guard Jaden Stone, who has been a spark offensively for the Tigers at the start of this season, he's going to miss the next 3 to 4 weeks due to a hand injury and then be reevaluated after that. According to Drew King at PowerMizzou.com, the Tigers are expected to debut redshirt freshman center Trent Burns today following postseason surgery. ABC 17 Storm Track forecast with Steve's Pest Control. The fall invasion is here. Go to stevespestcontrol.com.
I'm ABC 17 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Jessica Hafner. I'm tracking mostly cloudy skies and much cooler temperatures tonight as we drop down to about 32. It'll be breezy tomorrow with wind chills in the 20s in the morning and remaining in the 30s throughout the day. We'll see more sunshine with a high near 42. Thanksgiving morning is chilly, but winds will die down. We'll see morning temperatures around 25 and a high near 40 with mostly sunny skies. I'm ABC 17 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Jessica Hafner, and that's your ABC 17 Storm Track forecast on your total sports station, KTGR.
Did you miss the Mizzou Play of the Week?
Kanik wing to the right, two receivers to the left of the formation, running back offset left. Mateer wants to throw. Looking pressure front side, running to his right, trying to get outside. It's going to be hit and dragged down by Damon Wilson inside the Sooner 16-yard line at the 15-yard line. Wilson showing his closing speed.
The Mizzou Play of the Week is powered by Yuengling. Your home for Mizzou football is KTGR.
Hi, everyone. Andy Humphrey here for Advanced Tree Solutions. If you have a lot of trees in your yard, then you need a tree expert in your corner. And the best local tree expert that serves Columbia, Jeff City, and Fulton, Eric and his team at Advanced Tree Solutions. Every time they work on a project, they've got two jobs: take care of your trees and take care of you. So they're going to find the best solution for your trees so that they can be as healthy as possible all year round. And they're going to help you out by doing it at a fair, honest price, and even going above and beyond to make sure that your trees are safe. So if you have dead trees that you need removed, if you need stump grinding or tree pruning throughout this winter, call Eric and his team at Advanced Tree Solutions. You can book now for tree pruning, but be sure to do it soon because spots fill up pretty fast. Go to advancedtreesolutionsllc.com and get all the details there. Don't forget about them for snow removal as well. Once we get snow on the ground, Advanced Tree Solutions, your tree's best friend. advancedtreesolutionsllc.com.
Exmark owners, after a long season of mowing, it's time to give your Exmark the attention it deserves. Schedule your Exmark mower for the 30-point winter service now through the end of February with Farm Power Lawn and Leisure and receive free pickup and delivery in the Boone County area. They'll make sure your mower is sharp, clean, and ready to roll when spring returns. Call 573-442-1139 or visit fplal.com today. Farm Power Lawn and Leisure, your Exmark headquarters all year long.
You're not the kind to make a nice little snow angel when the snow falls. You mark your territory in a different way, with a lemonade autograph. But when others tinkle their title in your business parking lot, you get peed off. Thanks a lot, Chad. Nice cursive work, though. Good for you, Tina. Tina? Wait a minute. Get rid of the snow graffiti with Crutch's Custom Exteriors commercial snow removal. Call Crutch's and get a quote today. Seriously, though, Tina, that's impressive.
It was 2:30 on a Tuesday when the phone rang. Brian Ware Plumbing answered the call. It was a dismayed wife. Fresh off vacation, her and her hubby came home to a wrecked water heater. It had sprung a leak. A bad one. So while the plumbing team took care of that leaky water heater, Brian's certified restoration guide, Josh, with 2 decades of experience, came in to restore the area and stop mold in its tracks. Another day, another job, another expert added to the team. Ho hum. Better call Brian and unplug your plumbing problems. BrianWarePlumbing.com.
It's hard to believe basketball season is already here. 1851 Underground Tap and Grill reminds you that whether you need a place to grab a bite after a local high school or college game, or you just want to plop down with some friends and watch some hoops on TV, they've got a spot for you. 1851 Underground has drink specials and discount happytizers for happy hour. Check them out on Facebook or at 1851underground.com. It's not a secret, but it is underground. 1851 Underground Tap and Grill in the historic Brick District, downtown Fulton.
We're moving faster and faster these days with limited time to make an impact on potential customers. Hi, this is Jimmy at Pro Designs. For nearly 2 decades, we've worked with companies to build strong brands. At Pro Designs, our team can create a vehicle wrap to drive market share, growth, and profits. Connect with your customers on the go, on the road, and on the job site.
Visit us on the web at PRODEZIGNS.com.
Come see them at their locations in Eldon or Columbia off Rangeline Street and I-70.
Pro Designs, but better than a billboard.
They can't shoot it straight on the golf course, but they can shoot straight on the biggest sports stories in mid-Missouri. Back to Andy and Brendan on The Big Show on KTGR.
Another mix-up after the Monday Night Football game last night. Trayvon Merrick, I think is how you say it, for the Panthers, went after, gave a groin shot to Juwan Jennings towards the end of the game. And then Juwan Jennings goes up to him afterwards and gives I don't know if it was a punch or an open hand. Either way, he's hitting the helmet, and that can't feel very good. But getting right back at him, and they had to be separated and everything like that. Merrick apparently is the one being suspended a game today by the league.
Interesting. It's just him?
I believe so. I don't think Juwan Jennings has gotten a suspension.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I think probably both of them should have, but either way.
Usually that's what you see, but if one guy's more egregious in their involvement, then maybe it's more one-sided.
Yeah, similar situation to Brian Branch when he got popped for this against the Chiefs.
Yeah, and I was going to think like Jamar Chase spitting on a guy.
Yeah.
That guy came back and tried to, punch him in the face through a helmet, but Jamar is who got the suspension because you can look and say, okay, that was the decision that crossed the line. That clearly instigated. So I guess sometimes they can use their discretion on those sorts of deals.
Yeah. So it's Trayvon Merrick who got the suspension after that. And nothing for Juwan Jennings. Okay, you got to hear this. This is Creighton basketball play-by-play announcer John Bishop. Creighton's playing at the Players Era Festival in Vegas against Baylor. And there's a block charge call, and this ref blast is something else. Take a listen.
Carr into the paint, missed the dunk, and a fucking foul. What are you talking about? That was 2 seconds after the play ended. Carr driving. He's outside the circle. He's outside the circle, and he's set. He was outside the circle, and he was set. Brett Smith blew it. He was outside the restricted area. He was straight up and down. He was set like the statue sitting out in front of New York, and they called that. That's an absolutely horse crap call. In a game that's been played out like this. Unbelievable bailout call by an incompetent referee.
Wait.
And ball don't lie.
He obviously missed the free throw.
He missed the free throw.
Yeah. So
the best part of this is I think that's almost an exact transcript of what I was telling the referees at Vanderbilt when the ball was 3 yards.
I was about to say,
when
when would you start moonlighting as Creighton's play-by-play guy?
No, this was the tone was the exact same. Ball was into the third row, and they thought it wasn't uncatchable for a potential pass interference call on the defense. That's crazy that the tone was like spot on.
Yeah.
To how I'm sure I sounded. That was really a great call. I mean, that was a great college basketball announcers. You get that a little more. Like I would say you get that maybe more than any other sport where the announcers, they're right there courtside most of the time. They have a great vantage point of what he saw. He knew what he saw, replay backed it up, and he just couldn't take it anymore.
There was once a guy that got tossed from a game and I don't think it was warranted. Like, he wasn't really, I don't think he was referring to a referee's call, but he was like talking with his hands a lot and like making gestures, and the referee thought that it was about his call. And so he like told him to leave, like just ejected him from the game. This was a few years back. I can't remember which mid-major it was, but they were like in a conference tournament trying to make the big dance and got booted from the game. I agree. Sometimes we hear this a little more often in college hoops, and
I love it.
But that was,
to be clear, the refs were under the bus, but that call is well above the bus. That was glorious.
Ahmad Hardy, Doak Walker Award finalist. Third time in 5 years that a Mizzou running back has been up for this at the very end. Interesting collection of finalists this year.
You got 3 interesting ones. If you wanted to make a local connection, we've got it for all 3.
Ahmad Hardy.
You've got Hardy is obviously Mizzou's running back, best running back in the country, should win the award.
Jeremiah Love, St. Louis native, Notre Dame.
At Notre Dame.
And former Mizzou running back Kejuan Lacey at Ole Miss.
What do you know?
I mean,
so is it possible? And look, I would take Hardy over Lacey. Hardy's my guy. But is it possible that last year, when I was falling all over myself, wanting Kejuan Lacey to get the ball more, that maybe I was onto something, because he's literally a top 3 running back in the country. He was our 3rd string last year. Just saying. I think I got that one right.
You got Ahmad Hardy.
I got him out Hardy. So I'm literally totally cool with the way that played out, and I'll root for Lacey to do well. Hardy he's that dude. So,
it's an interesting collection. I wonder who's going to win. I think Hardy has a really good chance.
Love could get it, but we'll see, man. Let's make an impression. Let's make an impression in Arkansas. What do you say, Hardy?
We're back after this.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. I've spent a lot of Sundays right here playing in front of the best fans in football. And now it's almost your turn to get in the game, because DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to the Show Me State on December 1st. Soon you'll get fast payouts when you win, a safe and secure app that's easy to use, and promos that keep the action going all season long. It's America's top-rated sportsbook app. New customers can sign up right now and score $300 in bonus bets on launch day, December 1st.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code KTGR. New Missouri customers, sign up today and score $300 in bonus bets once we're live. That's code KTGR in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Hey, Lenny. George, good to see you. Yeah, well, it ain't so good to see you, pal. I wish you'd kept quiet all those years. Family Pawn's got all the hunting gear people need to do exactly that. Bows, scopes, ammo, everything. Doing what, George? Look at you, mounted on the wall for everybody to see. Not gonna lie, George. I sort of like hanging around. Their fireplace feels real nice.
Not your traditional pawn shop. Family Pawn.
I want to go to Family Pawn.
The warm scent of maple-spiced coffee fills the air. And is that a hint of Caribbean rum? That must be Caldy's Coffee Highlander Grog Brewing, our decadent maple-spiced blend that's won fans nationwide. Loved for how it smells and for how it makes you feel. Each cup brings back the comfort of a classic coffee morning. Cozy, nostalgic, maple-spiced coffee. Shop Caldy'sCoffee.com for your bag today. Also available in pods.
KTGR AM Columbia, KTGR FM Fulton Columbia, K286CL Columbia, in Missouri's total sports station. KTGR.
I'm Christine Lisi. Oklahoma State's hired North Texas's Eric Morris as the Cowboys' new football coach. He will stay with the Mean Green the rest of this season. NFL, Chiefs will be welcoming back starting running back Isaiah Pacheco Thursday against the Cowboys. He's been sidelined about a month due to an injured right knee. The game crucial for both teams, with each currently 10th in their respective conferences. ESPN NFL analyst Dominique Foxworth.
I'm looking forward to this matchup because I think both offenses are going to be good. I think who wins this game is going to be decided about who's scoring 7. You got to go for it on 4th down. Field goals aren't going to get it done for either side. No one's going to be able to stop Pickens and CD. We'll see if Mahomes can keep up with the scoring because Dak might be playing a little bit better.
The Steelers start this week with great optimism regarding the possible return of quarterback Aaron Rodgers from a fractured left wrist, according to coach Mike Tomlin. Pittsburgh left tackle Broderick Jones and defensive tackle Derek Harmon both ruled out Sunday versus Buffalo. The NFL has suspended Panthers safety Trayvon Merrick 1 game for striking 49ers receiver Juwan Jennings in the groin area last night. He's appealing the penalty.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. We make the claims process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at progressive.com.
From Faro, 15 to the 10, to the house. Bush, back to the wall, and it's Goddard. And Arrowhead. Touchdown! Kansas City! To your speakers. This is the big show, baby. Get fresh takes on the biggest sports stories in mid-Missouri. Right now, this is the Big Show with Andy and Brendan on KTGR.
So, we want more of your thoughts on the happenings of the day. Eric Morris to Oklahoma State. A Board of Curators meeting at the University of Missouri scheduled for tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And Mizzou basketball news, of course, some injury updates that will affect them over the next month, it would seem. Tigers play tonight against South Carolina State. We will also get to our good, bad, and ugly from the past weekend of NFL football. A Cardinals trade that is the first major one of the Heim Bloom era. And Brian Smith of Mizzou Wrestling joins us at 5:45. So a lot of stuff. Be sure to join us to get your thoughts in on all of it. 875-5847. But first, it's 5 o'clock.
So we haven't talked about it much yet, which is why I'm deciding to lead with it here. The Cardinals have traded Sonny Gray to the Boston Red Sox. That is an official deal from earlier today, the first major splash of the Heim Bloom era. And it doesn't make the Cardinals better in 2026, but I do think it accomplishes their goals. They were able to shed about $20 million in payroll, reportedly paying down half of the remaining $40 million that was owed to Sonny Gray. They pick up a couple of arms. Richard Fitz was a big leaguer in 10 starts for the Red Sox last year, had a 5 ERA, but he's in that pile of pitchers that are going to compete for the rotation. And Brandon Clark, a left-hander, 6'4", had a really good strikeout ratio in high A ball last year. He's a prospect. He's a raw piece of prospect, but I think he's somebody with upside, and that's really all you can ask for if you're the Cardinals. I thought it was a nice move today. Coaching carousel is starting to move. So there is an executive session having been called for by the Board of Curators for tomorrow at 3 p.m. What's it mean? Well, I don't know if it doesn't mean an Eli Drinkwitz approval for an extension. I'm not sure what my second guess would be. And by the way, like other things are happening as well. Eric Morris going from North Texas to Oklahoma State. That is official. He will continue to coach the Mean Green for the conference championship game in the college football playoff if they make it. I don't know. Something in my heart tells me these two events are connected and that Missouri is not going to have to worry about a coaching search. It's not definitive. I can't stress that enough, but hopefully within the next couple of days, we'll know. We got ups and downs with Mizzou basketball as well. Jaden Stone has a hand injury, and he'll be out 3 to 4 weeks. Will be reevaluated in about 3. That certainly makes him questionable for bragging rights at the end of December. He'll definitely be out for the Border War. It's a huge bummer because he's played pretty darn well. But some better injury news is Trent Burns is expected to appear tonight on a minutes restriction. The 7'5" center makes his long-awaited Mizzou debut. Tigers hosting SC State tonight. Chiefs play on Thanksgiving. It's going to be an awesome game at Dallas, taking on the resurgent Cowboys defense. Isaiah Pacheco expected to be in. Trey Smith with that ankle injury, though, not going to be playing. What's that going to mean for the Chiefs offense against the Dallas defense that is playing better now? I'm not totally sure, but I can't wait to watch football on Thursday. Ahmad Hardy is a Doak Walker finalist along with former Mizzou running back Kawan Lacey and STL product Jeremiah Love. And oh yeah, Mizzou football plays a game this weekend at Arkansas. I feel like that's kind of like last on the docket at this point.
You can call or text us at 875-KTGR. I mean, Ahmad Hardy could go off for 200 yards this weekend and like break the record that was set 2 years ago and do whatever.
Yeah, what's he need?
To get to
220?
220-ish, I think. He's at 14:03, I believe, officially is what it was. I think they may have taken a few away from the last game, and so 14:03. Schrader, I believe, was at 16:20-ish. 27 is my guess.
Well, let's find the number. Yeah, 16:27. I believe my bold prediction for the season, which is ultimately not going to quite come true, was that Ahmad Hardy would break Cody Schrader's record, but would do it in fewer games. I guess technically that could happen if he breaks it on Saturday at Arkansas. My implication was that Cody did it counting the bowl game, right? Was that the deal?
Yes. And also the record that Tyler Beatty broke from Devin West. Devin West's total does not include his bowl game. And so there are some that say that he still has it.
Well, he probably
got above
does then, if I may. Why would the bowl game have not counted?
I don't know.
I kind of feel like it's
really
a
don't
know.
know. It was like 98. So that was well a part of the landscape. So I don't think it shouldn't have been, but that's just
Are we serious?
I think that's it. I believe that's how it worked out, but we can go back and check. We'll have our researchers
Okay.
on it, but
I'll be the researcher, I suppose.
But
yeah,
anyway. It could happen next game. And honestly, I wouldn't feel unheard about trying to get Hardy to it even in the next game, because I think that's just how they have to score against this team.
It's how they have to score. It's how they have to move the ball. I think that's legitimate. Yeah. Look, Arkansas's got one of the worst pass defenses in the country, and so it'd be a lot of fun to potentially see this go the other way. That maybe Bo Prabula is able to let it fly and have a great game. That would be awesome. But I also think that the bread and butter of the offense is the run, so that's kind of where you start. But this might be a game where you get some yak. Your wide receivers are able to do, like Bo Prabula's passing yards. The quarterbacks who rack up the most, they're not doing it because they're heaving it 60 yards downfield every time. They're getting the receivers open, and then they're running after the catch. Maybe Bo gets a little bit of the benefit of that for his stat line this time around. I'm still trying to figure out this Devin West thing. 1998 Insight Bowl, Mizzou took down West Virginia 34-31.
Right.
I'm just reading that in the third quarter, Mark Bolger threw a 9-yard touchdown pass. I was just a little bit too young to really be locked in on the fact that Mark Bolger was the opposing quarterback in this game.
That's right.
But obviously then became the St. Louis Rams quarterback back when I was a big Rams fan. Yeah. So anyway, I'm still trying to figure out how many yards Devin West actually would have had.
Let's bring in on the KTGR hotline Larry here, who might have more on it. Larry, what's up?
Not much. I can only hear you, Andy. I don't know what's going on.
That's all right. We've got both of you now.
You got me now.
Okay. Yeah, you got Brendan now.
Okay, there you are, Brendan. Okay, so I don't know what year it changed, but before a certain year, the bowl game statistics were kept separately and were not honored by the NCAA in a total season stat category, and they only changed that. I think it's only been within the last 15 or 20 years that they changed that to where bowl game statistics would be included with the regular season statistics. But it was they were kept separately, and they were not because there are several running backs that, if you add on their bowl game numbers, would have some really high numbers out there.
Yeah, it seems that that was the change over the last 20 years or so. Thanks for the call, Larry, for clearing that up for us here on the Big Show KTGR.
And Cody got his with the bowl game. Is that accurate? His 16:27?
Yes.
So Devin West was 15:78. I mean, we can workshop this right here. It looks like I'm pulling up the Insight Bowl box score. He had 31 attempts, 125 yards. So nice game as Missouri took down West Virginia in that game. I'm adding the 125. So that puts him at 17:03.
Yeah.
Where's Hardy right now?
14:03.
So he needs 300 yards counting the bowl game, which I hope he would play. Unless he's entering the portal, he would play if tomorrow's executive session is going the way that I expect it to. He's only a sophomore.
He's only a sophomore. He's not draft eligible.
Not going to declare.
Right.
He'd probably be a first or second round pick if he did, but that's the NFL's rule. Like, ain't nothing you can do about that. So we're talking about 300 yards between the. What if he could just pop another 300, just like the Mississippi State game?
He could
do it Saturday, and then there's never a doubt. Like, you can say bowl, not a bowl, regular season, whatever. Although I think Devin West did get that number in 11 regular season games. It doesn't matter. We're going to see Ahmad Hardy get there. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. And we'll learn about the Doak Walker Award, I believe, December 12th.
Have they voted on that, though, already? Is that?
I forget the process, whether like all of the votes have been counted or do they open it up again with the 3 finalists?
With the final
I really don't know. I would think so because they announced the finalists and they still all have a game left. So I would think that that's
it would
the
not
case.
it would not make any sense. The committee first votes to select 3 finalists from the list of semifinalists and then casts a second vote in December
There you go.
to determine the recipient, which is that's good. So yeah, you've earned the finalists, but what you do this weekend will still count
And I
and be
think
considered.
it's good that I think all 3 running backs will only have 1 game left. Notre Dame will not play a conference championship. Ole Miss will not. Mizzou will not. And so this is it this weekend for all 3 running backs. My guess, like I legitimately do think Hardy has a good chance at this.
Really?
But but I think it will end up being Jeremiah Love in the end.
It's the Notre Dame of it all. It's the
Notre Dame. I mean, every one of these running backs leads in a certain category. Love leads in yards per carry. Hardy leads all 3 in total yards. Lacey leads all 3 in total touchdowns. I don't think Lacey's other numbers are good enough to maybe win this award, so I think he finishes 3rd.
Did you see what Notre Dame did to Syracuse, by the way?
What?
So Jeremiah Love only had 8 carries.
Only 8 carries, but he had like 170-something yards.
He had 171 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
His jurisdiction of legality odds to score 2 touchdowns was still minus odds. It was like minus 150.
Right.
He was favored to score multiple touchdowns. But I think Notre Dame was up like 21-0 before they possessed the football or something. It was brutal. But
yes.
I was thinking they would maybe try to pad the stats a little bit for the not only the Doak campaign, but the Heisman campaign for Jeremiah Love, if there should be one. Mizzou not making the playoff is going to make sure that the Heisman thing does not happen for Ahmad Hardy, but you could do a lot worse than, padding the stats with another couple hundred yards and just seeing where you land on this Doak Walker thing. I mean, he's a great candidate. Something tells me he's not going to be recognized as it. By the way, the notion that he could win it next year, does that factor in for voters? Because he
I don't know,
declare.
but like that's always
it's true for
you
Lacey
never
as well.
know how that's true for Lacey. You never know how the running backs are going to do. I don't think that's consideration. I think they just pick the best one.
Jeremiah Love's going to win the award.
I think so. The other thing, I wonder how they factor in receiving stats. Jeremiah Love has a good amount of receiving stats too, and Hardy really doesn't have any. So I don't know how much they will factor that in, but if they do, then I think that also edges Love a little bit closer to the trophy than Hardy there. But maybe they think that Ahmad Hardy, with the way that he has gotten his yards after contact, is a little more impressive than what Jeremiah Love has done. Could be.
Certainly has faced, I think, a tougher schedule than Notre Dame for run defense. Hasn't excelled in every single game, but
I mean, when he played against the tough run defenses, though, he was shut down pretty
that's
well.
Why I said he didn't excel in those games necessarily, but
right.
So
we'll see. But interesting race that could happen here. I believe Paul here on the KTGR hotline. Paul, what you got?
Yeah, for Brendan, with Donovan being possibly moved now that they don't have any pitching, could you I heard that Seattle's interested, could you get Gilbert on a one-on-one for Osborne or Donovan, or who would Seattle have for controllable starting pitching that you could get for Donovan?
Yeah, appreciate the call, Paul.
It's a fair question. I've always thought that those pitchers, I mean, pitching is such a valuable commodity that I just don't know that you're getting a 1-for-1 with certainly Gilbert or George Kirby. Brian Wu had a breakout season. Like, I would absolutely take Brian Wu. 15-7 with a 2.94 ERA last year and 198 strikeouts? Absolutely. I think you'd be more shopping in like the Bryce Miller bucket, and he was one of those starters who has not really excelled, had a 5.6 ERA last year, 74 strikeouts in 90 innings. So Donovan, in my opinion, more valuable than Bryce Miller. Certainly he has not really panned out yet, but he's got a ton of team control. And so, 4 years versus 2 years of Donovan, would Bryce Miller be a name that would intrigue you? I would absolutely take Bryce Miller as part of a package, Andy, for Brendan Donovan.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way you build this if you're Chaim Bloom. You go with the pitching of it all, and you figure out a way to just get a bunch of young, controllable arms and see which ones stick. And that can be the quickest way to reset an MLB franchise at this point in time. Love Donovan, but if they do trade him, I'm hoping they can get a guy like Bryce Miller, who's at least a lottery ticket to become a frontline starter.
Well, and we can kind of get into it now. Like, again, the news today, Sonny Gray traded to the Boston Red Sox in exchange for Brandon Clark and Richard Fitz.
That's not the only
other
thing you could call
people
him.
might want to shorten his name the way that you
I've done
usually
it.
shorten the name.
It's his
Richard.
name.
It's his name.
You gonna dump me if I do it?
No, it's his name.
If I were to mention that the Cardinals acquired a player named Dick Fitz today, what would be your reaction to that? I'm just asking because that's the man's name.
It's the man's name. I don't know if he shortens his name or not. I know my grandfather did. He had the same name. He shortened it to Dick, but whatever floats his boat, I suppose.
You know what they say about if the shoe fits? I don't know
Whoa.
Anyway.
Now we need to get to the button.
That's the last one I got.
Okay.
That's the last one I got.
All right. But yeah, he's now a St. Louis Cardinal, so have fun with that. Brandon Clark is also a St. Louis Cardinal. Sonny Gray is now a Boston Red Sox. And the Cardinals also shipped $20 million over the Red Sox to basically cover half his salary for next year.
And it was $35 million plus a $5 million buyout on an option that they weren't going to pick up. So they owed him 40. The Red Sox are going to pay him 31, and then they kicked the option to make it 10. So they renegotiated that, and they added an extra $1 million total. The Cardinals sending $20 million, basically half. I credit the DeWitts for doing that. I credit Bill DeWitt Jr. for understanding, like, if we're going to get something of note back for Sonny Gray, you have to accept the sunk cost of, like, we're obligated to pay the 40, and so anything that we don't have to pay is to our benefit. So let's pay half. Let's understand that we weren't going to get off scot-free. We signed the contract knowing this would be a possibility. But getting Richard Fitz, who it wasn't great last year for Boston, had some injury stuff, but a 5.0 ERA over the course of like 14 career starts, he's a 4 ERA basically over the last 2 years, 25 years old. He's going to be like a number 4, number 5 starter candidate. The Cardinals have several of those. Kyle Leahy's going to be a starter. Like, I think that's what we are coming to learn about this coming Cardinal rotation, is that you've got McGreevy and you've got Liberatore, and behind him you've got Palante, who they tendered a contract offer to, so he'll be in the mix. You've got Leahy that they will try as a starter, and now you've got Richard Fitz. Those three kind of slot in as 3, 4, 5 right now, but I think the Cardinals will go out and add some additional competition, guys that you would rate similarly, so that you're coming into spring with maybe 5 guys for 3 spots, and then you have Quinn Matthews, and then you have Liam Doyle, the draft pick from last summer. Prospects that maybe aren't quite ready yet. A Bryson Motts was the minor league pitcher of the year last year in AA. They recently announced that. These will be guys that as the year goes along, maybe we get a chance to see. But if you can come in with 7 average pitchers and you're hoping that 5 of them emerge to be your top 5 to begin the season, and then prospects will come along as the year goes, I think that's the plan for how Chaim Bloom and the Cardinals want to do it. But I credit DeWitt for understanding, yeah, you got to pay down a little bit of that contract to get some arms back. And don't sleep on Brandon Clark. He's very raw, but he's got high octane stuff.
The strikeout to innings ratio for
28 innings in high A last year, 43 strikeouts once he got up to high A. So he'll probably start high A. Maybe they boost him to AA Springfield. Tons of walks, like was still
did have a lot of
everybody.
Walks. Yeah, but he had more walks than hits allowed.
But, we can't have it both ways, Andy. We can't sit here and say the Cardinals never go after the exciting, tantalizing arm with the high octane, the swing and miss, the project. Like, yeah, give me the upside and see if you can teach him control. Cardinals fans have complained that, they've played it too safe with kind of the pitch makers that only throw 91, 92, and they're begging for the Cardinals to modernize and get into the swing and miss era of the sport. Well, guess what? This is an example of that. He was the 5th-rated prospect in the Red Sox system, according to MLB Pipeline. And it's a situation where you bring him in as a lottery ticket, and you've got guys like Matt Pierpont, director of pitching. You've got Larry Day overseeing the development group. You've got Rob Cerfolio. They've brought these guys in to develop arms. We're going to get an opportunity to see that play out with yet another young left-handed prospect in Brandon Clark. I think they're excited about him and a solid return given the context that, look, you owed Sonny $40 million. Like, you owed him that money. Figure out a way to deal with the repercussions of that. Him pitching on the Cardinals next year wouldn't have really served a lot of a purpose on an expiring deal because they're not going to be a Sonny Gray away from making the playoffs. They're going to lose some games next year. Their win total went down today, but I think they accomplished their goal, and hopefully they'll be able to do the same thing with the Arenado deal whenever it should come to pass.
That should be coming, hopefully, at some point. The Brendan Donovan trade, maybe it would be harder to stomach, but I think it's probably happening.
I hope the Brendan Donovan trade is kind of like if you had a head coach that you really liked, and there were 4 teams that you thought might hire him, but for whatever reason, none of them offered him the job, and so he came back to be your coach. I hope that's what happens with Brendan Donovan, where they just – and maybe, every team had Brendan Donovan as their second choice, and they just didn't end up making a trade. Maybe that happens.
Wow, you pulled that out of thin air. I can't recall any other situation like that at all.
We actually don't know if that's what it is with Drinkwitz, but I really do now think he's coming back because of this whole board of curators thing. When they announce it's to decide what kind of egos to have in the break room, it's going to really upset me because I'm kind of on board thinking that this means good things for Drink, but we'll see. I'm waiting for the Thamel update. Can we just get that?
Yeah, Thamel. We know that they have a line of communication there.
We could leak this, Drink. We'd be excited about it. We'll celebrate. Tell Thamel. Let's get it done. I want to be able to know for sure that this is we don't have to worry about this crap anymore. Yes, it's been a distraction. We could end it right now. Tell me what the Board of Curators meeting is about. Anyway, that's my plea.
No, I get it.
My humble plea to the coach.
I get it. 875-KTGR. If you want to call or text us. Kelly's text. Back when Seattle had Charlie Furbush and Doug Fister, I don't know how the announcers avoided getting fired.
Yeah, the Cardinals signed a guy named Scott Blewett yesterday, too. So.
Oh, great.
I am told, by the way, that through the grapevine, that Chip Carey is very excited about the additions over the last couple of days. I'll just leave it at that.
The names.
He's fired up. I just said he's excited about the additions. You can make of that what you will.
Whatever it might be. 573-875-KTGR. Are you excited about it, Cardinal fans? Tell us your thoughts at 875-5847. A lot of things happened, so it pushed back good, bad, and ugly to next. I mean, that's how things go sometimes on a Tuesday before.
I forced the issue on the Sonny stuff. Paul helped, by the way.
It's all right. Yeah.
Calling in with the Cardinal question.
Hey, we got it in. And so that's the main thing. Good, bad, ugly from the NFL Week 12. We'll give ours next.
Breaking down the Tigers, Cardinals, Chiefs, and more like no one else. The Big Show continues next on KTGR.
Hey, it's Andy and Brendan for Underdog, and they've got Feast Week going on all week, and that is very applicable with some of the promos they're offering for these upcoming basketball games. I just opened up my Underdog app to find a promo for Steph Curry for Wednesday night. I think he'll go higher than 0 points plus rebounds plus assists. Yeah, he's going to log at least one of those stats. So, Andy, I would recommend maybe starting off an Underdog entry with that, if you got that promo in your Underdog app.
Yeah, those are the ones that I like. I'm guaranteed to at least get one, and we'll see how many more I can get. Of course, if you get all your picks right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. I like Tyrese Maxey to have a big game. I'll go higher than 44.5 points, rebounds, and assists for him. So you could just pair those 2 picks together and make that be an Underdog entry.
That's right. Playing on Underdog is that easy. You choose whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. And as Andy said, up to 5,000 times your cash if you get your entries right. So download the app today and use promo code KTGR to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code KTGR. Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
And now the doggy dedication with Kretsch's Custom Exteriors. This week's letter comes from Coco in Colombia. Coco writes, Dear Kretsch's, my human's been whizzing off his new deck nonstop. I've never seen him so happy. But while he's making salty lemon snow cones, I don't have a place to pee of my own. If I had a wood fence to whiz on, I could unleash my freedom stream from a three-legged lean. Well, Coco, Kretsch's Custom Exteriors can build you that fence to splatter your bladder. Kretsch's Custom Exteriors. True beauty is on the outside.
College football is all about the next generation. Fresh talent, big plays, new energy every season. That's the same approach behind Flight by Yingling. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, but built for today. Just 2.6 carbs and 95 calories with real beer flavor that keeps up from kickoff to the post-game recap. So whether you're tailgating or celebrating a win, make Flight your go-to. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
I'm Michael Agnew with API Project Fitness. At API, we're dedicated to helping you reach your fitness goals with workouts that are motivating, challenging, and effective. Our group classes are high energy and designed to maximize your time with efficient movements and smooth flow. There are real results here to find, whether you're just starting out or ready to push it to the next level. API is where hard work meets progress. Everyone needs a fitness routine. Let us be yours. Sign up today for a free trial at apiprojectfitness.com.
Hey, y'all, it's Molly from Billiards. November is the month for giving thanks. But here's something we're not thankful for. Ground turkey. But seriously, have y'all ever tried to make a burger out of that meat? No matter what you do, it is dry. You know what you will be thankful for? Our famous Billiards burger. No turkey required.
Look at hometown for burgers and beer. Billiards! Homegrown.
No turkey burgers were made in the making of this commercial.
When it comes to tree care, knowledge matters. And Advanced Tree Solutions doesn't just cut, they care, educate, communicate, and protect the health of your trees. From pruning to removal to planting, their expertise goes beyond the surface. They're known for properly planting trees, removing burlap and wire cages from the root ball to ensure long-term growth and strength. With expert service and yearly discounts, your trees are in good hands. Call Eric at Advanced Tree Solutions, your tree's best friend. AdvancedTreeSolutionsLLC.com.
Tired of calling Andy and Brendan? So are their wives. Then shoot them a text right now. 573-875-KTGR and become part of the Big Show.
All right. Get your thoughts in on all the news of the day. Cardinals trade Sonny Gray to the Red Sox. Mizzou basketball coming up tonight. 6:30 pregame start, 7 o'clock tip-off. We should expect to see Trent Burns, according to Power Mizzou's report, for the first time this year.
Yes.
And
no, for the first time ever, right? He's never played.
Yeah, outside of, I think, an exhibition. I think.
We've never seen him in a real game for Mizzou.
Yeah.
He might be a unicorn. This might be a big day. Even if we only see him for 6 minutes, like this might be really freaking cool to see Trent Burns out there. All 7'5" of them. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
My
7'5",
goodness,
dude. But
I mean, I'd need a whole ladder to be taller than this guy. Yeah. This is gonna be fun to watch. I cannot wait to watch him.
That'll be fun. Not fun. The Jaden Stone news. Like they gotta
that sucks.
Figure out a plan for that because he has been awesome.
He was tracking for like 6th man of the year type stuff. He was really playing well.
And then, of course, the curators meeting tomorrow, executive session.
Let's go, Thamel. I'm feeling good.
Anything? You're feeling good?
I'm feeling good.
Okay. I'm glad. We'll see what it is, actually.
And by the way, and tomorrow we'll talk more about it, obviously, but it'll happen right before our show tomorrow, which is good timing. This would just be so good to be able to get the monkey off the back of not really worrying about the coaching search thing anymore.
Yeah.
And then, the ammunition Drink is going to have in the portal if he can, we lock this up and there's no question he's staying. Now the other schools that are scrambling because they're losing their coach. That's big, man.
Yeah.
This is huge news. This is really, really good news for the future of Mizzou football. And so
to stress, we don't really know what it's about tomorrow,
but we kind of do now. Reports are coming out.
I'll
read this. I'll read this from Frank Cusimano out in St. Louis. He said, I'm told by people close to the situation that the board of curators and Coach Drinkwitz are getting very close to finalizing a deal. It could come by the end of the week. Obviously, we're piecemealing all of this together to say, okay, reporters that are plugged in various ways are getting the knowledge that there might be something cooking here. There's a curators executive session. We don't know. But again, if we're doing the tea leaf reading thing that I love to do, I feel as confident as I have felt throughout this entire process that Drink's going to stay.
All right.
Just based on what we're seeing. So let's hope that this gets finalized. By the way, if that's what it is, I would leak it out there. I would announce it before the Arkansas game. We can go whoop up on our little brother rival that we just do every single year with the confidence of knowing the future is intact. Like, let's get fired up about this program again. I'm excited here.
All right. Call or text us with what you think at 875-KTGR. Let's get to this, of course, because we need to get to it. Good, bad, ugly. You can't push this out of the show entirely.
I won't push it out entirely. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's not you. It's just
my bad, GBU.
It was just GBU talking like, hey, gotta get in. Tell us what you thought was good, bad, and ugly from this past weekend of NFL football. Chiefs, I'm going to put, well, good, but also kind of ugly.
Nah,
they won ugly. But that's kind of like, hey, I know you. I know that Chiefs team. Like, okay, you won ugly. That's maybe encouraging based on what had been transpiring in other ugly games that the Chiefs have had. But they finally won one of those ugly games.
Which is very, very good. I mean, that had to happen. Here's the problem. They're maybe about to play in another such game.
Yeah.
Because the Cowboys go in the good as well.
Yeah, they're good.
And probably the ugly as well. Did you see? And by the way, I might have to mea culpa. I really thought Brian Schottenheimer would be a disaster.
Look, man.
I'm coming around.
Like,
he's a better head coach.
He is not hurting him. He is not hurting him this year.
I think he's a better head coach than a coordinator. I honestly do. He has got something about his personality. The players are really, I love the videos that they put out. Did you see a lot of coaches do this now? They put the video out where they're talking through the game and who had a big moment and things of that nature. And Schottenheimer is hyping the guys up. And they're like, can you lose a game in the first quarter? Can you win a game in the first quarter? No. Second quarter? No. Third quarter? Fourth quarter? Yeah. He goes, did we spot him 21 points? And he goes, yeah. And they did.
Like, but you know what?
They came back.
Yeah.
They won that football game over the Eagles, man. That was impressive stuff. And Dallas is in a tough spot. They're really going to wish that they had that tie go as a win against Green Bay because they should have won that game. But they're back at 5-5-1, so they're not out of it. They're gonna be gunning for this game, and the Chiefs are too. It's gonna be a really, really fun game with a almost uncomfortably high total points of like 52.
Yeah.
Are we gonna see a legit shootout between Dak and Pat? This is gonna be a lot of fun.
I sure hope so. Be a Thanksgiving feast for the quarterbacks.
Wait. I am so hyped for Thanksgiving.
Get going.
Because I get to see my family.
Back in
That's
yes, that's what we mean. But you'll be watching the Chiefs game. Obviously, my family will be watching the Chiefs game. I know that.
Anybody in my presence will be watching football.
Yes,
on that day, morning to night.
Yes,
because it's a loaded slate.
Man, the Rams are in the good.
They're so good.
God,
Harrison Mevis, is in the good.
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, is anybody going to beat him?
I don't know. Here's my thing.
Yeah.
Stafford's going to win the MVP. My stupid Drake May bet is going to go up in smoke because Stafford is on an otherworldly run.
Yeah.
I don't know who. It's so funny because remember 2 top 5, bottom 5s ago, I had the Rams number 1. And then they lost to the 49ers with all the 49ers backups like that very day. And then I had to capitulate and go back on them. I think the Eagles were my number 1, and then they lost to the Cowboys. So I've got a bad track record with this. But we do see in the NFL, just when you're ready to go all in on a team, they let you down. It would be the most NFL thing ever. The most, hey, we're the league of parity thing ever for them to lose at the Panthers next week. But no, I think the Rams are as safe a bet as you can have right now. They've got freaks on defense. Stafford is playing some of the best football we've ever seen him play. He's got Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams is their goal line back. They just go a fade to Tay. Yeah, Tay's going to come down with it.
Or whatever it is. Yeah.
It's a slant. It's a fade. It's a touchdown is what it is.
Yeah.
And by the way, Puka Nacua is the best receiver on the team, and we're not even talking about him. So, yeah, they're loaded. They're a problem. They were very good. They beat the Bucs like a drum on Sunday Night Football.
Call or text us with what you thought was good and bad and ugly from week 12 of the NFL season. What was bad? Who was bad this weekend?
I mean, bad to lose the lead like the Eagles did, but I'm going to credit the Cowboys for what they did.
Eagles were bad. I think
I'm not trying to rip too many teams right now, honestly. The Bills were bad. That's been a minute since that game happened, but that was pretty bad.
That was bad. Josh Allen if he turns into the pick happy Josh Allen all of a sudden.
Well, but the Texans pass rush is good.
Great.
I mean, that's
wonderful.
That's really what won them that game. There's not a team that I think is a playoff caliber team that underachieved this week.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, who's the team that, like, yeah, sure, the Colts lost to the Chiefs. We think the Chiefs are pretty good. Who's the playoff type team that underachieved? The Steelers lost to the Bears. Bears are 8-3. Like that was the spread, was a 3-point spread.
I know
in
the
that
Patriots won, but it wasn't all that decisive.
No,
or
but
down
the
10
spread,
nothing to start.
They almost covered like a 7-point spread.
Yeah.
That's fine. There's really not a lot. The Panthers were bad. By the way, the whole game, let's do this. The whole game last night was bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
Brock Purdy threw infinite interceptions, and they still won and covered the spread. Bryce Young, I wanted to believe. I mean, he had 448 passing yards the week before that. And then whatever that was last night. That was just the first half of that game made Aikman want to retire. I mean, the way that he was talking about, he was like,
the Manning cast folks are probably just all like Peyton just absolutely hates any interception that a quarterback throws, and
he had to be
loses
tearing
himself.
his hair out. No, like Joe Buck was doing a live read of all the fun games they've got coming up on Thanksgiving across the league. None of them on ESPN,
right?
But it shows this one's on Fox, this one's on CBS, and he's like, this is a great slate. And they're like, oh yeah, the NFL always finds a way to do it. And Aikman goes, even this game right here, these two teams have played really well this year. They're not really doing it tonight, but like he was just totally. I mean, what else could you say? It was truly some ugly football, especially in that first half last night.
Yeah, I don't envy anybody those watching it. 875-5847. If you want to call or text us. Do you like what do you do with like Shedeur Sanders?
I was just going to ask about Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
Speaking of post game videos, people kind of upset that Stefanski didn't really spend much time crediting Shedeur in his little post game hype speech. Gave the game ball to Myles Garrett, and he had like 1 million sacks and is the defensive player of the year. Appropriate for the game that he had, but you could have probably laid it on a little bit more thick to Shedeur Sanders. Got his first rookie to win in his first game since like the 90s or something.
Yeah.
In the NFL. Like that, you could have probably given him a little bit more love, but they did name him the starter over Dylan Gabriel. Gabriel is healthy, cleared the protocol, but Shedeur is going to play. Like, good for the Browns, or is it actually bad for the Browns? Because if they can win a couple of games with Shedeur Sanders, but it's more like the way that Tim Tebow was winning when he was the Broncos quarterback, they need to be as high up in the draft as they can be to get a quarterback, do they not?
Yeah.
If they win enough games and think they can kind of squint and think with Shedeur Sanders and this defense, maybe we could do it. I think Shedeur is fine. Like he's outsized in his popularity relative to his skill, but is he one of the top 40 quarterbacks in the league? Yeah, he probably is. Like he's fine. It's not hard to say, that he's an upgrade over some of the guys that are out there in the league, but I don't know that he's a difference maker. And so that's where I wonder if the Browns are going to kind of get stuck in the middle a little bit if they have a little success with Shedeur, but he's not the reason for the team's success.
Yeah, they had 9 sacks in the game, and they're also facing the Raiders. Like
that's the easiest matchup you can have in the league. I mean, that would be a concern for me is if Shedeur accidentally wins a couple more games, looks okay doing it. If I'm a Browns fan, I might be like, oh boy, we just set ourselves back another year because we're going to give him next year to find out that he's not the guy. But we'll see. Good for him though. I mean, yeah, kind of predictable that eventually he was going to get an opportunity and look halfway decent, because that feels like the script that the league needs, and certainly the script that ESPN and First Take and all those folks need. But no, good for him. I don't have anything negative to say about that win for Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, I mean, he needed moments like that, I think, early on to build confidence, and we'll see what that does. Niner A, the bad was the groin punch last night, almost as bad as spitting on someone. Yeah, we're not going to, I mean, Niner A, you can be upset about that. That's
fair.
Not good.
That was ugly.
Can't have those cheap shots. All right, call or text us with your good, bad, ugly from NFL Week 12, 875-5847. Up next, Mizzou wrestling just edged out by number 9 Illinois yesterday. Brian Smith will talk about how he sees his team improving afterward as he joins us next here on The Big Show.
Now, your local Sports Center update on your total sports station, KTGR.
Good evening, I'm Andy Humphrey. This Sports Center update is with Lee's Tire Company. If it's round and rubber, Lee sells at leestirecompany.com. University of Missouri Board of Curators has called an executive session for tomorrow at 3 p.m. It is closed to the public. No reason given as to what the meeting is about, but there is a thought that it could be potentially talking over an extension for Mizzou head football coach Eli Drinkwitz. Again, nothing definitive yet, but we'll keep monitoring it and let you know as soon as we do what that meeting will be about tomorrow. In the meantime, Mizzou football preparing for its regular season finale at Arkansas. It's a 2:30 kickoff on Saturday right here on KTGR. Mizzou men's basketball tonight in action as they look to remain unbeaten. They host South Carolina State. Team announced today that graduate guard Jaden Stone will miss 3 to 4 weeks due to a hand injury and be reevaluated afterwards. But they also said, according to Drew King of PowerMizzou.com, we should expect to see the debut of redshirt freshman center Trent Burns, who had off-season surgery and has recovered from that. Your ABC 17 Storm Track forecast is with Steve's Pest Control. The fall invasion is here. Call Steve and the pros at Steve's Pest Control today or visit stevespestcontrol.com.
I'm ABC 17 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Jessica Hafner. I'm tracking mostly cloudy skies